Australia is burning through money on construction projects like there's no tomorrow. We're talking about over $120 billion committed to infrastructure it's supposed to transform how people move around their cities. Right now, tunnel boring machines are stuck in quicksand deep underground, computer systems are delaying trains that already have finished tunnels, and workers are literally building massive bridges over completely dry farmland. Some of these projects will revolutionize Australian cities. Others are turning into financial black holes that keep getting deeper. Stick with me as we go through each of these projects and discover which projects are actually on track to finish and which ones are sucking taxpayer money into bottomless pits. Adelaide is attempting something that makes most engineers nervous. The city is carving out a massive motorway directly beneath homes, schools, and businesses while people go about their daily lives above. The River Torrens to Darlington project has hit $15.4 billion, making it South Australia's most expensive infrastructure spend ever. 3 tunnel boring machines, each standing as tall as a 5-story building with 15-meter diameter cutter heads, are being commissioned for a late 2026 launch. These machines weigh 370 tons just for the main drive unit that spins the cutter head. Moving them from the port required shutting down traffic and using special trailers with hundreds of wheels to distribute the weight without crushing road surfaces. The main challenge isn't just the scale, but the ground itself. Adelaide sits on stiff clay and sand that behaves like unpredictable Play-Doh, swelling when wet and shrinking when dry. Push too hard, and houses crack from the ground heaving upward. Don't push enough, and the suburbs start sinking into the void below. Engineers solve this using a closed-loop slurry system, pumping thick bentonite liquid into the drill face to hold back the earth while the cutter head grinds forward. Before drilling could even start, workers had to build a launch box 35 meters deep using diaphragm walling. They dig a deep trench, fill it with concrete, then excavate the dirt in the middle, creating a concrete box underground that acts as a starting block. This project represents the final piece of a 78-kilometer non-stop motorway, but the real achievement is doing it without disrupting the city above. Every meter of progress requires constant monitoring, ensuring the suburbs of Glandore and Edwardstown remain stable as the southern tunnel launch site is excavated. Snowy Hydro 2.0 was meant to be a $2 billion energy storage battery for the nation. The concept is straightforward: pump water uphill when electricity is cheap and release it through turbines when demand spikes. The price has now ballooned toward $20 billion, with completion pushed to December 2028. The reason for this disaster is a machine named Florence. This 143-meter tunnel boring machine was drilling a 17-kilometer tunnel through the snowy mountains when it hit something geologists didn't expect. Instead of hard rock, Florence encountered soft, waterlogged ground that acted like quicksand. The earth collapsed around the machine's front end, trapping it completely. These machines are designed to grip hard rock walls to push themselves forward, so when Florence found itself in geological soup, it couldn't move for months. Workers had to resort to hand mining with high-pressure water jets and special grout to freeze the ground solid just to get the beast moving again. While Florence sat stuck, another machine named Kirsten was doing something even more dangerous. Kirsten is drilling the inclined pressure shaft, a tunnel that climbs upward at a steep 25-degree angle for 1.6 kilometers. Gravity wants to pull the 2,000-ton machine back down the hole, so Kirsten has special anti-rollback brakes. The project fell so far behind that they ordered a 4th tunnel boring machine, Monica, launched in February 2026 to finally bypass the stalled sections. The Inland Rail project stretches 1,600 kilometers from Melbourne to Brisbane, with a price tag of $31.4 billion. The vision is straightforward: double-stack freight trains 1.8 kilometers long and carrying containers stacked 7.1 meters high, making the journey in under 24 hours. Getting goods across Australia's east coast faster means cheaper groceries, faster deliveries, and less truck traffic clogging highways. The engineering reality is far from simple. The Condamine floodplain in Queensland is a massive expanse of flat farmland that transforms into an inland sea during heavy rain. Farmers raise the alarm early, terrified that a traditional train line built on an embankment of dirt would act as a dam, blocking floodwaters and drowning their properties. Engineers came up with hydraulic transparency, which means building infrastructure that lets water flow through. Instead of a solid wall of compacted earth, they're constructing a system of bridges and culverts. In just one 6-kilometer section, workers are installing 5 huge bridges and over 500 concrete tunnels underneath the track. They're literally building a bridge over dry land, preparing for floods that haven't happened yet, but definitely will. Concrete piles are being driven deep into the soft soil because when the ground gets saturated, heavy freight trains would otherwise sink. While tracks are being finished through Victoria and New South Wales in 2026, the critical connection to Brisbane remains stuck in environmental studies. Brisbane's Cross River Rail was supposed to cost $5.4 billion. By early 2026, the real figure has hit $17 billion. The physical construction is genuinely impressive and mostly finished. Workers excavated a cavern 50 meters below Albert Street, creating the deepest hole Brisbane has ever seen. The rock down there, nicknamed Brisbane Tuff, is hard volcanic material. To prevent the 50-meter walls from collapsing and burying workers alive, engineers installed 340 massive rock anchors and sprayed 4,500 cubic meters of concrete onto the walls. They lowered 50-ton steel beams into the hole to prop everything apart. The 10.2-kilometer rail line includes 5.9 kilometers of twin tunnels running beneath the Brisbane River and CBD, designed to finally unclog the single bridge that currently creates a bottleneck for the entire city's train network. The tunnels are done, the stations are built. So why won't trains carry passengers until 2029? The answer is invisible and infuriating: software. Cross River Rail is installing ETCS Level 2, a high-tech signaling system that allows trains to communicate with a central computer about their exact location. This digital precision lets trains run closer together safely, increasing capacity without building more tracks. The nightmare is making this shiny new digital system talk to Queensland's old analog rail network. Testing this software integration isn't a matter of months, but years of running simulations to ensure no trains vanish from screens. Melbourne's Westgate Tunnel project nearly died because of what was hiding in the dirt. When tunnel boring machines started digging the twin tunnels, one stretching 4 kilometers and the other 2.8 kilometers, they discovered the soil was contaminated with PFAS. These forever chemicals from old firefighting foams don't break down naturally. No landfill in Victoria would accept the poisonous excavated material. The massive drills sat idle underground for over a year, while lawyers argued about who would foot the cleanup bill. Eventually, a special treatment facility had to be constructed just to process and store the toxic soil in double-lined containers to prevent the chemicals from leaking out. The project officially opened in December 2025 and is now carrying over 200,000 daily vehicles. The tunnel was built to give trucks a second way to cross the Yarra River, taking pressure off the Westgate Bridge. Now that the digging is done, the focus has shifted to the Veloway, a 2.5-kilometer cycling superhighway suspended in the air. It hangs underneath the new elevated road above Footscray Road, creating a tunnel for bikes made of green mesh that keeps cyclists away from cars and trucks. The Westgate represents a cautionary tale about what happens when environmental assessments miss critical contamination issues. The Northeast Link is Victoria's biggest road project in history, costing a staggering $26.1 billion. This project will finally connect the M80 Ring Road to the Eastern Freeway, completing the loop around Melbourne. In 2025, the project entered its most exciting phase with peak tunneling operations. Two absolute giants named Zelda and Gillian are doing the heavy lifting. These tunnel boring machines have a diameter of 15.6 meters, making them slightly bigger than Adelaide's machines, and some of the largest in the Southern Hemisphere. Each machine is 90 meters long and weighs 4,000 tons. They operate like underground factories. As the cutter head at the front grinds through rock, the machine automatically places huge curved concrete segments behind it to build the tunnel walls. These concrete rings are manufactured at a factory in Benalla and trucked down daily. In early 2026, Zelda and Jillian passed the halfway mark of their 6.5-kilometer journey. The logistics are staggering. The machines chew through thousands of tons of rock every day. This rock moves out of the tunnel on a covered conveyor belt to avoid creating dust clouds in the suburbs, then gets loaded onto trucks. They're digging up to 45 meters deep to go under the Yarra River and existing neighborhoods. The pressure on these teams is immense because any mistake affects people's homes directly above the tunnel path. Sydney Metro West is carving out 24 kilometers of twin tunnels from the CBD to Parramatta, with major construction contracts worth $11.5 billion signed in January 2026. This project will put roughly 1,000 workers up to 37 meters below the city's surface. The tunnels need to pass beneath Sydney Harbour, dodge existing infrastructure like water mains and electricity cables, and avoid creating sinkholes like the one that swallowed part of a construction site during the M6 project. When ground pressure isn't managed correctly during tunneling, the earth above can suddenly collapse, taking buildings and roads with it. Sydney Metro West uses advanced tunnel boring machines that constantly monitor ground pressure, adjusting in real time to prevent disasters. The machines need to maintain perfect balance between pushing forward and supporting the ground above. Too much pressure and the ground heaves upward, cracking foundations. Too little and sinkholes open up. The project is critical for Sydney's future because it will create a second rail spine across the city, reducing pressure on the existing network that funnels everything through Central Station. The Metro promises trains every 4 minutes during peak times, dramatically increasing capacity. But, like Brisbane's Cross River Rail, the physical tunneling is only part of the challenge. The signaling systems, station fit-outs, and integration with existing lines all need to work perfectly. Sydney has learned from other projects that the invisible work often takes longer and costs more than digging the actual tunnels. Western Sydney International Airport at Badgerys Creek is one of the few Australian megaprojects actually hitting its deadlines. This $5.3 billion facility promises 24-hour operations, something Sydney's main airport can't offer due to curfews from noise complaints. By early 2026, the runway is fully paved and ready. The 3.7-kilometer strip isn't ordinary asphalt, but an engineering showcase designed for the world's heaviest aircraft. It features a Cat 3B landing system using radio signals to guide planes down even when fog is so thick. Pilots can't see the ground until they're 50 feet above it. This means the airport stays operational during weather that would shut down other facilities. The terminal roof, weighing 3,500 tons and constructed from over 40 kilometers of Australian steel beams, is complete. It's designed to float above the terminal without support columns blocking sightlines and will hold 6,000 solar panels to power operations. The airport is on track for a late 2026 opening, but there's a catch. The metro train line connecting it to the city is racing to finish simultaneously. If the train isn't ready, passengers face a long drive to reach the new airport, which could limit its success. The pressure is on because Western Sydney needs this airport to handle the region's explosive population growth. So, which of these mega projects impressed you the most? Drop your comments below. If you found this breakdown valuable, smash that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the world's most ambitious construction projects. Until next time, thanks for watching.